And we're off.
All right, and we're off to the races, guys. This is Mushroom Hill. And we're already ahead of the cutscene.
And we're instantly stopped.
So here's the thing. Knuckles, you know, obviously he's lived on this island for very long. He knows everything to know about, thank you, about this island. So he knows the secrets. He knows everything about, like, the Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emerald. So
was Knuckles all like, I hope no one follows me into my J.O. closet?
Exactly. So because we have all 7 Chaos Emeralds, this is where we're going to release them. So that's a Master Emerald in the middle right there. This is Hidden Palace, by the way. This is basically the final version of the Hidden Palace that we went to in Sonic 2. So now that these are all here, oops. Alright, well, fuck me. I was gonna show you, but you know what? Maybe it's better this way. I could jump on one of those emeralds and then go for the super emeralds. So every time I try to go into a special stage, it'll send me back to Hidden Palace, and then I could try to get the next super emerald. And by doing that, I would be able to get Hyper Sonic, which is like...
Hyper Sonic?
It's like Super Saiyan times 2.
Is he red? Is he Kaioken? Like,
no,
what are we talking here?
He's rainbow. He's a fucking RGB.
Oh, what the fuck? He's Gamer Sonic? What?
Yeah, Gamer Sonic.
Yeah.
Gamer Sonic.
Yeah, we don't really have to try and go for that. We're just gonna get to the end here.
She can, if she wanted to, just know.
It's true.
Yeah, just know. You can get Kaioken times 10.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Super Knuckles?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, Super Knuckles and Super Tails are both in this game. They were both originally in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Super Knuckles is kind of like more of like a pink. Nothing much really changes with him. He's just invincible. But
kind of glowing.
Yeah, but Super Tails gets 4 flickies that help him out. Flickies are the birds in the Sonic universe. So he has 4 flickies that pretty much like target the enemies and just like launch into them like bullets.
Kill everyone.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. But like,
that
unfortunately, they never brought Super Tails back after this game. Like, they kind of had a little bit of like a Super Tails-esque thing going on in Sonic Heroes, but like,
what about Super Knuckles?
Yes. They never brought him back either. Okay. Oh, except for, you know what, like, you can play Super Tails and Super Knuckles in Sonic Mania, but Super Knuckles is just what he is in this game. And Super Tails is just a glowy Tails. He does not have the 4
Yeah, he doesn't
birds.
have the 4 guys.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, that's really cool. And I always love Sonic Tales from the comics, because they bring them in the comics.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not just shooting out of my ass
no,
there,
I
right?
mean,
You're the Sonic comics.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially in Sonic, the Archie series, they were, like, all about that shit.
That's
like,
the one I read. That's the one I read.
Yeah, I don't believe they've brought any of the other guys as super characters in the IDW comics, but yeah, like, the Archie comics just kind of, like, did whatever the fuck they wanted, so it was easier for them to just, like, do that, yeah.
They did not give 2 shits.
You're a comic guy, so are you checking out the new Sonic stuff?
No, I haven't yet.
Really?
I do want to, as I'm not against it.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
It's pretty dope.
It takes place immediately after Sonic Forces, and I think you played that game, right? So
yeah,
you kind of have an idea of what's going on.
It's one of the Sonic games I've beaten all the way to completion, which is not many. So, which is sad that it was Sonic Forces that I did that with. I was like,
I mean, you know, wherever you got to start it, I'm not judging.
Right.
Like, it's not that great of a game, but like, it's not the worst game either.
No, and that was the thing is like I remember playing it at first and being like, everyone was hating on this, and I'm having such a good time. Like, I really don't understand. And then I got to the end levels, and I was like, oh.
Well, I mean, people just didn't like it because it wasn't what they were used to. It's a little bit different, but it's like...
And it's kind of not as polished, you know? Like, that is obviously the issue, is that, like, a lot of the these early games feel polished. Like, somebody spent a shit ton of time planning how deep these levels actually go out, you know? Like, and then Sonic Forces is like, yeah, but you can, like, create characters. And you're like, I don't know if we should have spent so much time on the monster creator. I don't know about you guys, but
well, I don't understand spending so much time on customization to have set abilities per species. Because then you're only gonna pick like the same two.
That's true. I mean, that influenced my decision. Like, I would have just gone with like anything and like gotten creative. But as soon as it was like, oh, cats start with one ring after they die, or like
double jump.
Birds get a double jump.
It's
yeah,
like,
I was like, well,
that.
yeah, of course, yeah, that's gonna absolutely influence my decision now.
No, it's true. You're like, wait, I didn't realize we had to worry about species here. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like we get perks. Like, it's kind of like picking your species in Skyrim. Like, oh, Argonians can breathe underwater forever. Fuck yeah, Argonian. Or like Khajiit are like banned from seas.
Right? You just no, you get racist against if you're
yeah, you get discriminated.
I mean, at least you get fucking claws and you can just attack people with it as a Khajiit. You know, like thank God.
You know what's funny?
What was Buttnick up to there? Buttnick was like just as a.
Oh, I'm so glad you call him Buttnick because that's a thing from like the old cartoons. They used to always call him Buttnick.
Yeah, what was he doing though?
He was basically like drawing the energy of the forest, I think. So, oh, by the way, we're in Mushroom Hill, and this place is kind of like referenced in the Sonic movie because, you know, Eggman goes into a mushroom planet, and we were in basically a mushroom planet.
Oh, dude, that was too short. Also, just like the beginning of Sonic, the first movie, it was being too short. This was too short. I was like, come on, put Robotnik in there for a very long time. Let's play with this.
Have you seen there's a deleted scene where he's like actually tripping out of his fucking mind after he drinks the mushroom coffee?
Yeah, it explains where he comes up with the idea to do like the satellite. It's because because the coffee he drinks it's mushrooms, so he trips and he envisions it.
Definitely look it up sometime. By the way, this level is in Sonic Mania.
Yeah, I recognize.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay though. This game is much more forgiving with like little obstacles and shit than the other two games, especially Sonic 2. Which I think Sonic 2 is like one of the hardest Sonic games. For me, anyway, because I haven't spent as much time playing that one as all the others.
Harder than Sonic 06?
It's harder than Sonic... Well, Sonic 06 is only...
broken.
It's only hard because it's broken, exactly. Oh, fuck.
I was gonna say, it's not exactly hard. Like...
Yeah, it's just
beat your ass. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
The big old fuck you to people playing it. Just so you're like, wait...
Frank, you ever watched the Sonic Boom cartoon?
I have seen lots of clips of it. I've never actually sat down and watched an episode.
You know what?
Or anything.
It is a very memey show, so I can definitely see like clips.
And I, of course, have seen there was like a clips all the time. Sonic Boom breaks the fourth wall. I've seen that clip before.
Yeah,
because you're just because he like references like all this crazy shit. They're like where they're like, oh, they get all caught up in doing 3D games instead of the 2D games that made them famous. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell just happened?
Like, oh, they really shouldn't have changed the color of his arms. They're like, what the fuck?
Like deep cuts.
Yeah,
you're like, whoa.
There's also a reference
that was some true fans making that weird-ass show, you know? Like, you're like, Jesus.
Well, also, Ian Flynn, the guy who writes the Sonic IDW comics, and he's also writing a lot of the stuff in Sonic Frontiers. Oh, fuck you. Wow. I'll just fucking go. He wrote a couple of episodes in Sonic Boom as well, so, like...
Nice.
Definitely some, like, references and, like you guys said, like, deep cuts. But, yeah, it's pretty funny. There's a part in that show where, like... Knuckles has like a really like feminist comment that just comes out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah,
it's so weird. The whole show is really funny.
Yeah, it seems out of control for a kid's show where they were like, we're gonna put a fucking we're gonna put a Fred handkerchief on fucking Sonic and that will make him cooler. And you're like Fred from Scooby-Doo, and they're like, let's put an ascot on him.
No,
and
they're
you're
just trying to make him Jack and Daxter.
It's Jack and Daxter. I mean, sorta.
That first game, if you just replace the character models, it would fit perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Especially the first Jack and Daxter. After that,
We're gonna have to play some Jak and Daxter on the channel because I would love. I don't really have that much experience with Jak and Daxter. I've never played the games, but I have seen you like play one of them.
They're some of my favorites.
Something I grew up on, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, my brother was named Jack, so he loved those games. He was like, there's a game with a character named Jack, and yeah,
that's me.
We played a shit ton of it. That's me. We played a shit ton of it.
And Yup official.
And they and like it's one of those things that they also just did it so perfectly, where it was like a nice wholesome platformer, and then the next couple games they were like, but what if we were evil? And you're like, now we're talking. Like,
yeah,
you're like, okay.
Like it's such a weird turn, and like if I wasn't a kid, I would have probably hated it, but as a kid, like I was like, yeah, no, this is fine.
Yeah, right.
I went from
Squishy now would be like, I don't like that they tried to make it dark and edgy, but Squishy then was like, this is badass as shit.
Yeah, and then also it's like this feels like a completely different game because it totally is, you know?
Right. They were like, yeah, we're gonna not do that again, and you're like, okay.
Because I played the first one, I fucking loved it, and I remember going to Best Buy and I was playing a demo for the second one, and I was like, you can hijack cars? All right, I'm all fucking for it.
Like, get that ring.
I love this guy.
Yeah, right. You could literally just and then drive it off into nowhere, dude. That was the craziest thing.
And you build up a wanted level and everything.
Straight up, Grand Theft Auto just randomly shoved in there.
Did that guy just kill himself?
Yeah, he was basically just hitting himself by trying to hit me. So this is kind of like. It's kind of like a factory. You get to see where all the capsules are made, and then that one just ended up being
sentient.
Yeah.
That's kind of like alarming.
Yeah. But Nick, what are you up to? Making sentient?
Was Eggman like putting them together, and then that one started talking, and he was like, "Oh no."
He's like, "I don't fuck like that.
Like,
I don't fuck with that.
This is bad. I gotta get Sonic to destroy this."
Call the exterminator. He just coaxes like, Sonic to come here. Yeah.
Should I live with my man-made horrors, or bring Sonic in to destroy them?
Oh, time to restart.
Yeah, some of my favorite moments in like Sonic games, or like especially in Sonic Boom because it happens all the time, is when Eggman gets desperate and needs Sonic's help, and it's like, you moron! You're useless. I know it.
One of my favorite moments is from those Sonic animations where they bring back Metal Sonic to Dr. Robotnik. That's so cute. I don't know why. It's so fucking cute. Like that. Like he sort of cares about him a little bit. You're like, oh.
Yeah, it's his kid, man. It's his fucking son.
My kid, man. You fucking killed my kid, man.
I may not be your daddy, but I am your papa. Like, sort of thing. You're like,
what?
Yeah.
Is that not the same thing? I guess not.
Sorry, it's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, okay.
You may have been your daddy, but I'm your papa. Like,
right.
Yeah, it was that moment where they gave the guy like half a movie, and you're like, why are they spending so much time on him? Oh, it's because he's gonna die. Cool guy.
I mean, anytime they do that, spend too much time with a character, you're like, is that man gonna die?
Yeah.
You're like,
Man, that movie was pretty forgettable, huh?
People fucking love it. For me, it was definitely forgettable because there's like a moment where they're like talking to him, and he's like, "You're never gonna get a respectable funeral," and it's like, that's a weird thing to bring up now. Thanks.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I really like Guardians of the Galaxy, and I do the one we're making fun of is 2, and I do think 2 is more personal. You know, like it's like telling something that seems a little too. Ooh.
Yeah, I forgot those parts.
Too crushing.
Part 2 I feel is a little. It's like personal. It's like actually feels like it came out of James Gunn's like personal experience with his dad.
That's fair.
I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy is fun, but it's very fun. You know, like it's not. And for some reason, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is like a huge thing about his dad and like what it means to be a dad. And you're like, whoa, what? Huh?
I guess so.
Which, you know, if you listen to my podcast at all, I fucking love shit that's like that. I always fall for it. I'm like, what did you say? Something about dad? I'm like, crap. Like,
so that's why your favorite Spider-Man's Amazing Spider-Man 2, because of like the whole.
Yeah. Oh yes, yes, absolute no. What the fuck?
Absolute no.
Shut that down.
But as a Spider-Man fan, you know how excited I was when I was watching that, and I was like, oh my god, they're actually gonna do like Peter Parker's parents as spies.
Peter
like,
Parker's parents. Poor Peter Parker's parents.
And then they're like, no, we ain't doing that shit. And then they're like, and we're gonna make it worse. And you're like, wait, no, it was already weird. Like, why'd we have to do worse?
Yeah, I don't understand movies that they like tease a story that you already get the first tease and you're like, oh wow, I really don't care about it. And then the second movie, they double down just a little bit by another tease and you're like, I still really don't care.
Yeah, you're like, you really don't have to. I mean, we were talking about Jurassic World last time we were together. They do that. They're like, yo, human clones. And you're like, I don't really give a shit, bro. Yeah, and they're like, the whole plot's gonna be human clones. And you're like, let's not, though.
Half of the whole plot's gonna be human clones. The other
it's one of those
bugs.
Things that it's very close to what Michael Crichton was going for in the original books. Like in the original Jurassic Park and Lost World, there's definitely talk about how like dangerous human cloning would be. You know, like it's definitely like a lot of talk about that. But they never touch upon that. But also, Michael Crichton was like, what if there was dino-human hybrids? And the movies were like, no, we ain't doing that.
They almost did.
Yeah, several times.
Yeah, that was a canceled one, yeah.
This director, too. Colin, how do you say his last
He did
name?
do this movie. He's done all of them,
he did this movie. Yeah, he's done all the worlds, and like it's one of those things where a man, he's like kind of infamous for coming up with these crazy plots that just never get made. Like, of course, the infamous Episode 9 script for Star Wars, and then there's a whole script for Jurassic World or Jurassic Park 4 that is like human dino hybrids that they were like, no, we ain't
right
fucking
on top
doing
of you.
that. Yeah.